In 1933, the eyes of America turned to a small religious compound outside of Waco, Texas. What began as an attempt to serve a search warrant ended in a deadly 51-day standoff, becoming one of the most controversial federal operations in United States history. This is the story of the Waco Siege.
Andrade, we tried to tell you that if you would give us time to give you studies, everything I would let you know. Remember that, Isabel? But like a lot of people get too hasty, and look, what we do, people would not understand naturally at first. Chanel, look at maybe your grandma might see this film.
David Koresh was born Vernon Wayne Howell on August 17th in 1959 in Houston, Texas. Raised by a single teenage mother, Koresh struggled academically due to dyslexia and social isolation, but he found solace in the Bible, reportedly memorizing large parts of it by the time he was a teenager. By the early 1980s, David joined the Branch Davidians, a religious offshoot of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, based at a compound called Mount Carmel near Waco, Texas. The group believed in an apocalyptic end-times prophecy. Koresh eventually claimed to be the final prophet of the group, renaming himself David Koresh after King David and the Persian King Cyrus, or Koresh in Hebrew. After a power struggle with former leader Lois Roden's son, George Roden, Koresh took control of Mount Carmel in the late 1980s.
Next we have Rachel. Rachel, tell us something about your arriving here. Have you been here for a while?
Yeah, I've been here since I was 5 years old.
It was about 5? And you've had opportunity to leave, have you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always been told if I want to leave, I can leave, but, I've never wanted to.
Why not?
Well, because, I like it here, have friends here, and plus there's a truth that, David teaches the 7 seals and he can reveal it, and there's no one else so far, that I've heard of that can do that, and so I've just decided to stay here.
Koresh preached that he was the Lamb of God and the only one who could unlock the 7 seals from the Book of Revelation. He encouraged his followers to live communally, give up worldly possessions, and in many cases, their families. Koresh took on multiple spiritual wives, some as young as 14, under the belief that he alone could father the children of the kingdom. Life at Mount Carmel was isolated, intensely religious, and increasingly militarized. Reports emerged of stockpiled weapons and allegations of child abuse, drawing attention from federal authorities.
A better chance you're going to have to survive.
The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF, began investigating the Branch Davidians in 1992 for illegal weapon possession. A former member tipped them off to a large arsenal inside the compound, including semi-automatic rifles, grenades, and explosives. The ATF planned a raid on February 28, 1993, to serve a warrant for illegal weapons and arrest Koresh, but the Davidians were tipped off, possibly by a local TV news crew or a mail courier who was also Koresh's cousin. When agents arrived, a gunfight broke out.
Tell me about what's going on out front.
4 ATF agents and 6 Davidians were killed on the first day. The FBI soon took over the operation. Negotiators managed to secure the release of some children, but Koresh refused to surrender. He claimed he was writing his own interpretation of the 7 seals and had to finish it first. The FBI surrounded the compound, used psychological tactics including floodlights, blaring loud music, and cutting off power to pressure those inside. The siege dragged on for weeks, with tensions rising and public scrutiny mounting. On April 19th, 1993, the FBI launched a final assault, using armored vehicles to inject tear gas into the compound. Hours later, fires broke out in multiple locations. The cause is still debated, but evidence suggests the Davidians set the fires. 76 people died, including David Koresh, women, and children. Only 9 survived. David Koresh's death marked the end of the siege, but not the questions. Survivals like Doyle and Ruth Riddle told different versions of what happened. FBI negotiator Gary Noser later criticized the escalation tactics used. In the years since the Waco siege, it has become a symbol for anti-government movements and a cautionary tale of what happens when ideology, miscommunication, and force all collide.